We talking condos and nice clothes and dropping
And we are live in 3, 2. I did it so short you couldn't make fun of me. I just did 3. I did 3. I started at 3.
Hey,
So.
Brandon, do you know who's really clever?
Me?
Nope.
Next.
Poor people.
Next question.
Poor people.
Hey,
well, maybe
true.
you. Poor people. So
I'm included.
Like,
I'm in that bag finally.
Like Sam Bateman, bank run fraud chicken. I had this one friend. He's really poor. Everyone should have a really poor friend, and you'll feel bad for a while, but you'll get over it. And poor people will teach you, like, because they have to be super clever. Like, I saw some homeless guys on the side of 101, which is a pretty big highway. Matter of fact, it was a block away from 101 and 405, which is the busiest intersection on the whole planet Earth. You can look it up. More cars than any other intersection anywhere on Earth every day. That's a mile from my house. Anyway, they had Christmas lights in the woods beside the highway. And my other poor friend, well, it's not like we all hang out, but when I was a kid, he's like, hey, man, if you ever don't have any money for Halloween, you can just make a mask like this. So you go like this with your hands. You go like this. You have a superhero mask if you're poor. So if you put a bunch of hair on my head right now, I would be Sam Bankman fried scam bank run next Halloween. This is going to be his mask. Of course, he'll be wearing it in prison. Hopefully they issue chastity belts. It's going to be a rough one for him. This has turned into something where I think he will go to prison. And I think most of that group will be indicted. Luckily, that whole weird moon bro orgy den from the Bahamas, most of them, as we've seen, like if you've seen videos of them floating around, they're so bad. They're so kind of dull. They're very limited individuals. Most of them will probably be able to be like, I didn't know anything. I'm just a moon bro. Like, I just came here for the free orgy. So I think the more, man, Brandon, we were talking about who's going to be cast for this show. I mean, how do you cast derpy, goofy? Well, I guess they do it all the time. Oof. Brandon, are we okay on sound? We got some people who said no sound.
You know what? You sound great, Nick.
I think I do. I think I sound great.
We have a whole lot to discuss today, Nick. This Sam Bankman, this is getting out of control, obviously, but there's so many other things too we get to discuss today.
Why don't we do this?
You want to just lead in with the questions here, or do you want to go over the rundown real quick?
Let's do the questions. Let's look at the Q&As. Yeah. Let's have some fun.
So this is the very first question we're going to knock out of the park here. So if not crypto.com, I have something on this. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so if not crypto.com, where's the best place for NFTs? Thanks, Nick.
Well, they can be in your wallet through, depending on what platform you bought the NFTs on. You can hold them in MetaMask if you so choose. It kind of depends. I mean, member 00013, I think maybe if you're thinking about what's the best place for NFTs, maybe you're focused on the wrong thing right now. And when you say, so if not crypto.com, that there's an assumption there that before last week, crypto.com would have been a good idea. Crypto.com has never been a good idea. It's always been sketchy, always from the beginning, like FTX, like Solana, like Luna, like Voyager, like BlockFi, like Celsius. These are all on the sketch list. Crypto.com is the only one on my sketch list that just hasn't gone bankrupt yet. So it shouldn't be. That's like saying, well, if I don't go out with Jeffrey Dahmer tonight, should I still go out with Ted Bundy? No, you should not. Those dates will end badly.
This crypto.com, they had a lot of good, well, not good news over the weekend as well, Nick. So yeah, definitely good point. Did you hear the Nike news? Did you hear what Nike's doing? They're launching their own NFT marketplace. But yeah, this is good, right? Though. Their own platform, which is actually probably one of the most decent ones that I've heard of. They're going to actually combine the digital world. If you have like old sneakers that are like super rare, they're going to let you bring that onto the metaverse, basically legitimize the pair of sneakers by authenticating it with an NFT that's connected to it, which I think is good.
Okay.
That
It is good. One thing that's not good is legitimatize.
Oh, because of the word usage. But any guesses as to what network they are using? What network are they using, Nick? One guess.
Polygon.
There you go.
Oh my God, these guys!
Isn't that insane? They just announced yesterday. That's a big deal. They are the one company in the Web 2 world. They've done $200 million already in revenue in Web 3. I would say they're leading the charge as far as Web 3 revenue goes. So that's a big play for them and Polygon.
And let me just say real quick, the exchanges, not for NFT use right now. I don't think the right now world of NFTs is all that exciting. The future NFT world looks quite exciting, but that's not where we're at right now. The right now world is the crypto assets and where do you want to hold them? And the safe places that I still consider safe is I consider, well, one, if you can stake an asset as close to the source, as close to the protocol as possible, perhaps through a private wallet on your computer. As an example, Cardano, you stake through Daedalus, which you run your own wallet on your computer. Great. However, short of that, what are the exchanges that I would feel comfortable with? Coinbase, Kraken, even though there's low liquidity, Bittrex, but you got to stay away from low liquidity now. That's become a new problem. So some of these things are going to fold just because of low liquidity. However, no exchange should completely fold as long as they're not stealing customer funds. So again, who will not steal from you? I don't think Coinbase will steal from you, right? Brian Armstrong's a lot of things, but he's not a thief. Kraken is a legit exchange. It's just a little clunky to use. All right. There's a lot of other exchanges like KuCoin and things like that that I use, but I don't use them to park assets on there. I buy stuff and move it off. I even had a I'm not even going to say it. I'll save it for the digital heavyweights. I found an exchange that is pretty decently liquid. You can get on and off of there in a few minutes. I went and bought some Algorand there yesterday. It was real easy. So anyway, that's kind of it. Now, if you're outside the United States, Binance is fine. Binance, listen, CZ is sleazy, but he's not a thief. And right now, not a thief is good enough for us because all of these problems with FTX and scam, bank run, fried scum chicken, this is all because of a crook, a thief, and a degenerate. It's nothing to do with crypto and everything to do with centralized finance, traditional finance, legacy finance. And by the way, guess what? No, stay away from Uphold. They used to be partnered with another company that was just stealing money. Remember Cred Earn? Most of you don't. That was a scam that Uphold. Oh, we didn't know anything. How do you not know anything, man, when the other half of your company's stealing from people? Get out of town. Anyway, so long story short, the exact same silliness that was going on at scam bank run fried chicken hawks exchange FTX, that's the way every bank in the world works. You know that, right, Brandon? That everything that he did that everybody's like, how dare you? That's exactly the way every bank in the free world operates.
Yeah,
they don't have your money.
I think, was it on digital heavyweights? We talked about this in detail. If you were all to go to try and bank run, do the exact same thing that you're doing with the exchanges, the banks would fold up as well. Like if every single one of us went to our bank to try to withdraw all our funds, same issue.
No, not every one of us. Just 3%. Yeah. 3%. If we all have equal shares in a bank and 3% of us go, the bank is dead. Dead. That is traditional finance. That's the legacy system. And all of these problems that FTX had, do you think anybody in the regular banking world did anything but giggle? They giggled because that's the way banking is done. It's just he got called. Why? Couple of passive-aggressive tweets from CZ, small bank run. Well, when you're pilfering client assets to go bail out your fledgling garbage hedge fund run by a derpy creep. Oh, Caroline. Blech. What do you think's going to happen? Mess. All right, next question.
This one is good. It's live, and this is kind of pertaining to the FTX thing. This is from Chance the Investor. Do you think this could push Gensler out because of the alleged behind-the-scenes stuff with FTX?
Man, Gensler has been maligned. I don't know. Look, Gary Gensler has unfortunately had a lot of connections to scammy stuff, and it is not just now. Go look at Gary Gensler's past. We could probably do a whole show on that. He's been in bed with a lot of very unsavory individuals. So I don't know, man. I mean, when is the last time you saw a regulator really get in trouble? I don't even know if it's happened. I don't know anyone. I mean, Bernie Madoff was the chairman of NASDAQ. He ran his Ponzi scheme for 8 years after the Boston branch of the SEC said he was dirty. He ran 8 more years. So the SEC's like, you're dirty. We're going after you. He's like, cool. Looks like I got 8 years to keep running my scam. These dudes never get in trouble. No one gets in trouble. No one gets fired. No one goes, what it is, they'll get asked to step down, and then they'll go take another teaching gig. This is what he did the first time. You know, Gensler's a smart guy. I'm sure he protected himself. Besides, both of Sam's parents are law professors at Stanford. So even if you were in bed with Sam and FTX, you've got the best legal advice money can buy. Actually, you got legal advice that money can't even buy. Off we go. Good question, though.
Good question. So this is HJ from Switzerland. What about NEXO? Is this an exchange or a bank?
NEXO is an online facility that's becoming a bank. They have exchange functionality, but they're becoming a bank. They're doing it the right way. They're going from crypto into traditional finance. And they're doing it. Their reserves are audited in real time. They actually have money because they want to succeed. The funny thing is, it's only greed and avarice that gets you in trouble. If you have an exchange, you make money on trading fees. You don't need to steal to make money. You just make money. And this is the thing. When you see these exchanges go under, you know that it was corruption, because otherwise you just make money on fees. But what happens is these D-bags look around and they feel like, oh, I'm not rich quick enough. I'm not rich enough. I got to be richer. Well, why, Sam? Why do you got to be so rich? Oh, well, one, you have a failed Alameda research. We're venture cap. You're a bunch of dummies, sex crazed, which I'm not so much against that, but, and I'm not so much against the tens of millions they spent on their weird orgy palace in the Bahamas. But I am against them bailing out a bunch of bankrupt companies, because if you're an exchange and you're bankrupt, you are the worst of the worst. So what were those idiots doing bailing out BlockFi, bailing out Voyager, bailing out garbage company after garbage? Jim Cramer was like, this guy's the next JP Morgan. Oh, really, Jim? Is that what you were saying about the Theranos? He was a big supporter of them too. Like, come on, man. If you're in exchange in crypto, the worst that happens is you just don't make that much money. But you still make money. You can't lose unless the cost of your manpower and keeping the lights on for the 4 computers it takes to run an exchange is more than all the trade fees you get on an exchange. So if an exchange fails, bro, you got to let it fail. Why would you buy into that? So Alameda was going and buying up a bunch of crummy garbage companies. Oh, big surprise that didn't work out. And they were spending money on what? Let's $40 million for campaign donations, $5 million to El Presidente, another $30+ million on Super Bowl Sunday. Who knows how much money they parted with for Tom Brady and all these creeps to jump on board. Woo, woo. Are you in? FTX, are you in? These guys were so degenerate. This was just moon bro nonsense. So, whereas Then you look at a company like NEXO, and they're like, we just want to be a bank that has full crypto asset utility, on ramp, off ramp. We want to make fees because we want to exist. And guess what? NEXO will probably continue to make fees and continue to exist and start absorbing clients. They don't want these crappy companies. They want clients. And clients, there are many. Good question.
My gosh, so much to dissect here, but you're right. I mean, if only it were that simple that these guys just did what they said they were going to do. You know what I'm saying?
It is that simple.
It is that simple. This could
look at Binance. Binance didn't exist in 2016.
Yep.
In 2017, big old forehead CZ was like, I'm going to make an exchange. And he and like 3 dudes with one computer, they were like sharing the computer. They made the biggest exchange in the world. Why? Because he's not a thief. He's crummy. He probably spewed DeFi. He's the one he spewed DeFi onto the world. And DeFi, like I'm talking about, is not decentralized finance, which is taking the legacy financial system and converting it to a decentralized world. No, I'm talking about these spammy little dumpster fire yield farming garbage platforms where they paid you 900,000% ROI to invest in their funny money coin. Oh, which oddly is a lot like FTT token. Oh, that's weird.
Just sheer coincidence, I'm sure. There's so much to dissect here. This is crazy what's happening right now. Pay attention, people. Next question here before we keep on rolling. I could talk for hours about this. Trader Joe, what about staking on the exchanges like on Kraken? Is it safe to stake on the exchanges?
Okay, when you stake on an exchange, you're not really staking. They're staking, and you're participating in a pool of funds that they have probably earmarked as staking funds, something like that, which means they harbor the risk of slashing and things like that, and they would probably socialize any losses. But you're not staking. You're parking tokens there. They are staking. It's staking once removed. It's like when those people are like, can I date my first cousin or my second cousin? Well, the answer is you can't date your cousins. So if you're staking on an exchange, you're not staking. Got it? You're not staking. But they pay a yield. And if I'm going to have my assets on any exchange, Kraken is a very safe one, right? I have a friend in cybersecurity who says they are probably one of, if not the best at cybersecurity. So hopefully they don't get hacked tomorrow and I have to eat my shoe. But I trust them. Now, do I trust them with lots of currency units? No. Probably 2-3% of my assets. And over on on Coinbase, I have, I think, Algorand. That's it. So I get my assets, just as a general rule, away from exchanges. But Kraken is, to me, it's a safe one. They don't appear to lie, cheat, and steal, or tolerate those among them who do. Bam.
Got it.
What do you think, Brandon? Let's say you, Brandon.
Let's just assume I'm one of your friends that you talked about earlier, and I want to save $4.22. Is it okay to buy a hardware wallet on eBay? Can they be hacked?
No. I had someone email me and they're like, hey, they sent me I bought a hardware wallet on eBay and it came with the passphrase.
Like, use this passphrase. I promise. It's never been used before.
No. The danger is you don't know what clever people you don't know what clever people on eBay do is they could go in there, they could open that thing up, they could put in little diodes and transistors and doohickeys and things, technologies and softwares that we can only barely comprehend as mortals. And so, no. You buy it directly from the source. You want to get an N0, you order it from Engrave. You want to get a Ledger Nano X or a Nano S, you get it directly from Ledger, the company. Be very careful. Everyone is out to get you all the time. You want to understand crypto? It's easy. Illiquid assets on illiquid exchanges, traded by and managed by sketchy individuals. As long as you start there, nothing in this space will surprise you. Now, you can also get terribly rich. But again, you're going to eat a lot of pain. Listen, everybody, I was saying this yesterday, Brandon, everybody should congratulate themselves. If you've been here since, say, April, you've been through the most devastating psychological, emotional, financial pain of anybody on planet Earth. You are like a Vietnam sniper with 247 kills. And you're just like, you yawn as you like put one down range and tear a whole family apart. You care. I mean, you are a lazy-eyed psychopath because you've seen so much volatility, so much chaos, collapsing exchanges and people hiding from the government, all this kind of old crazy stuff. But if you've survived this, there's just not that much bad left. Almost 3/4 of the total crypto market cap got liquidated over the last 12 months. Most of it due to bad behavior, theft, greed, graft, corruption, malfeasance. And if you've weathered that, MT Gox is going to be a yawn for you. And people that have weathered that and have the right emotional state are going to make a lot of currency units. Hopefully we can outpace some hyperinflationary event. That is when we actually get inflation, which is not what's happening. But that's another story. We'll save that for the heavyweights. Do we have any parting questions, Brandon? Any final curiosities? We look at the charts real quick.
A lot of good. Let's look at the charts, but then I want you to talk about digital heavyweights again right here at the end. We have about 4 minutes left, so let's go ahead and do that.
Well, it's easy. The charts are easy. It's green. Why is it green? Well, because it's been red for 8 days straight. That's it. This is nothing. This is nothing to be happy about. People are like, yeah, Bitcoin's up to 17,000. Oh, oof. Well, that's not good if you're Michael Saylor, is it? Who's in deep billions deep at 31,000, paying debt service at 31,000, and telling people all the time, hey, no, we should be buying more Bitcoin. Bro, you need to worry about not going to prison for tax evasion first. Second, you need to see if you'll even still have a job at MicroStrategies. Listen, Bitcoin goes to 12,000, it's over. There is no MicroStrategies. You guys know that, right? Brandon, you get that, right?
I get that.
No longer exists. Gone. Kaput. Tout à l'heure. Okay. So yeah, the markets are green. So what? Should you be buying anything? No. You should be looking at your portfolio. You should be deciding what are the most quality assets and where you're going to deploy capital once we figure out what the fallout of FTX is. So let's kind of, I know you see things popping up. You're like, oh man, I should have. No, you shouldn't have. You shouldn't have done nothing. What you should have done is just relax, keep your money on the sidelines for now. If you're in the space and you're rebalancing, if you have some winners, celebrate. It all depends on when you got in the market. But for the most part, just relax right now. Look at your portfolio, look at quality. And if you're going to invest in markets that weren't really affected in sectors, meaning you would be looking at AI, right? Because AI wasn't really affected by any of this. Oh man, I sold out of Mobix yesterday. I sold out at 8 cents. It's like 9 cents, but you know what? I put that money in Algorand. I got Mobix for free. It was a free coin that I got for being in Fetch, and then I put that into Algorand. So it wasn't new money, it was old money, but I want to get off of there quick as possible. Mobix, just so you guys know how dumpstery this is a coin you get for doing physical activity. They're like, if you ride a scooter, we'll give you Mobix tokens. I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I am out. My name's Bennett. I ain't in it. Deuces. So I deuced out of that. I got about a little bit less than $1,000. It was free money. I got it because I owned Fetch. I don't know if you remember that Mobix airdrop they were doing, Brandon. But anyway, sold my Mobix over on MEXC exchange, which is it's a very tiny little exchange, but it worked fine for me. I'm going to take that off the list because we don't care anymore. And I bought Algorand because Algorand was at 25 cents, and I like Algorand at 25 cents. You know what? I like it at 28 cents. I like Algorand, period. even though they don't feel like they need to ever talk to us ever. All right. So some interesting things. Tomorrow is kind of an action-packed day in that we have our digital heavyweight show in the morning, and then we have a kind of state of the market AICI special in the evening. That should be pretty cool. So for tomorrow's morning show, institutional client level access, portfolio insights, managing, balancing, rebalancing, any options ideas that might make sense or might not. Right now it's a little quiet, but that's fine. We have a full-time Discord where we discuss stuff 24 hours a day, which is really cool. But Wednesday night's event, it will be a lot of fun. It is not pre-recorded. It will be live. We'll have an intense Q&A. And it's kind of fun, do a little evening show. So anyway, yeah. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you on Digital Heavyweights and for our special tomorrow night. And for those of you in the chat, there's a link on the top, the kind of state of the market thing. And I'm going to once and for all read, I've prepared kind of a statement of everything you need to know about FTX in 5 minutes. And then our brains will just, poof. Anyway, stay in school, don't do drugs, don't do anything my poor insolvent drunk, strung out on meth grandmother, or Brandon, or scam, bank run, fried, prison hawk, or Nancy Pelosi wouldn't do. And on that note, I bid you a pew-pew.
I remember them night codes, we couldn't stand those. We tried to drive on them high roads, but had to stay low. Now their solutions to hard bills we couldn't pay for. I thought the profit to get some profit, we couldn't change the top. If it's a stock and I need a cop it, I wait for him to drop it. Ain't no option, let's get it popping. We chilling in the drop. I need some crypto, put it in my pocket by any means I rock. This is the